Hi there and welcome back. Have you ever thought about what regaining internal steadiness and stabilization would mean for you and how you would do it? Is internal steadiness not falling apart when things get tough? Is it being able to take one step back from the problem, detaching, so you can get a clearer picture of it? You know, a phrase from one of Joanna Lumley's interviews has stuck with me for many years. Distance lends enchantment. It really does. And in the case of us seeking to regain internal steadiness and stabilization, taking one step back from whatever we are dealing with, not only stress, has multiple benefits, not least distancing ourselves from the abyss. Another fan of detachment was the late Wayne Dyer. I remember being in a talk where he spoke without looking at notes for 4 hours. I have read so many of his books, and one of the chapters that has always stuck with me is about detachment. Detachment does not mean apathy. It means engaging without falling into the pit of despair. It does not require a ton of superpowers, but it does require guts, mental fortitude, determination, resilience, and a few other skills and resources that we mention in this video and we explore through the stress reframed Paco Straw's framework. For now though, let us continue with this video and move on to oxygen. The concept of oxygen, not the physiological aspect of it, is so closely linked to detachment. Taking one step back removes the immediate danger, often both physically and psychologically, and allows you to breathe and wipe yourself off. Imagine you're drowning in quicksand. Do you have that image in your mind? Now imagine managing to drag yourself out of the quicksand. Do you see that image? Do you feel the relief? Great stuff. Now, you will still have mud and who knows what else clinging to you, but you are no longer in the quicksand. This is the power of detachment and of gaining oxygen long enough to stop breathing normally. And let's move on to the next resource in our toolkit, AQ. We've heard of IQ and EQ, and we might be familiar with the seminal work of Daniel Coleman on EQ. We've probably also heard of GQ, the men's fashion magazine. But a little less common, I think, is AQ, an abbreviation for Adaptability Quotient. In my view, this is a fundamental skill and resource. It's the ability to navigate change while the mud is still clinging to you. Natalie Fratto, in her May 2019 TED Talk, discussed AQ, even though it was in the context of determining which startup founder to support. The concept can be extrapolated to everyday life. Let's pause and test your adaptability. Let's start with something simple. A changed social engagement, a lunch with a friend, not a charity luncheon with high-profile guests. How did you respond? How do you normally respond? And do you adapt to the next plan easily or with difficulty? Do you make the thing personal or do you treat it as just something that happens? If you like, after the video, think about a few more situations where there was a need to adapt to something new. A new job, new relationship, new living arrangement, new country, new state of health. How well did you do in those situations? And don't forget the Stoic philosophy mentioned in the previous video. What is in our control, what is not. What is up to us, what is not up to us. We'll continue to explore further in future videos and in the stress reframed Paco Straw's framework. But for now, let me just thank you again for your attention.